wanted to kind of give you a little recap. Just got done taking a few hour nap, and so I wanted to just give you a quick recap of what we were discussing earlier today with the chair. I did double check some of my confirmations with the chair. One of the questions was what was going wrong with the chair, and I thought I would take this time to explain that. Um, First of all, yes, the chair plate indeed is significantly damaged. It's got a rip in the metal. Now, um, if it's steel or steel like metal, I mean an alloy, that would imply that there was a lot of torsion or tension on the metal, which would make sense. But I was moving my seat to the one side, which obviously the ripped metal was already ripped on the other side. Moving to the other side simply resulted in the metal being unevenly positioned and it go rip like a piece of paper. Uh, Welcome to the world of being chunky. You do rip metal. It's not common, but it does happen in the metal work. You can see what happens. Now, if I had a stick or MIG welder or a TIG welder, I could have fixed it, or even an oxyacetylene torch. And using welding rod with an oxyacetylene torch, I could have fixed that. I don't have one, so therefore we decided we're just gonna get a new stand. Uh, I tried to get the broken cylinder out of the base, only to find other base, the floor base, and the top plate. Unfortunately, I don't have a um, gear puller or a hydraulic press to remove it because the weight of several 100 pounds per square inch of pressure sitting on that chair has basically welded the metal, or so it seems like it's welded together. The fact is, I was beating on the thing, but I have to be careful because the cylinder has potentially up to 5 atmospheres of pressure in it. If you actually bust that thing open, we would have had a bad day. So I basically just kind of threw my hands in there and said, "Oh, get a new base, which comes with wheels," which sounds great. But now I have a total of 10 wheels from the existing setup that I can use. And so I looked into another thing, which I had thought about this for a while, is the record rack. If I put wheels in the record rack, would I be able to then roll it to where I want it so I can get into the closet behind? And the answer is, you betcha. Now, to do that, they make these little inserts, but because I don't have calipers, I can't measure exactly what the diameter insert it needs to mount these little wheels shims in. So I'm kind of stuck. Hello, Botrix. How you doing, Botrix? You're always the first one on here. Well, maybe you and Twitch, Kick, Rumble are here too. So this isn't going to be very long because it's late and I'm not going to stay on here beyond 12 noon, 12 midnight. Trust me, I have to get up for the morning. Okay. The cell phone mount for Noodle's car should be here tomorrow too, which is pretty simple. In fact, whenever it comes, I will probably give you a review of it and showing you how it works. Although, if you've already seen these kind of windshield mounts, they're pretty standard. They're not really that fancy. They just basically have a suction cup and they just suck to the glass of your car, and therefore your camera will be mounted. It meets military grade mounting and suck, so it'll suck real good at 95 pounds of pressure, which is perfect because I won't let my phone go flying in a Noodle's car because of acceleration or velocity. But compared to the chair, that's easy. You want to talk about the chair? The chair was really annoying hell. It didn't budge. Like I said, I had tried to get the bottom plate off, but I had to be careful with that. To be able to get the cylinder, which gives if that thing has got up to about 5 atmospheres of pressure of nitrogen gas in that thing, could literally rupture and explode and act like a grenade and throw shrapnel all over my apartment, go through a wall, and I have seen it. I have seen those chairs explode, as Brew demonstrated from test videos in China that they can literally blow up. How you doing? How are you doing today? Ship this or 1969. How's it going? I haven't seen you in a while. So that's the stand. Is where we stand now. I gotta say. So um, I want to cover some other news. Number one, 3i Atlas. I might as well bring this up because right now it's gone behind the sun. It won't be out of the sun's distant part of the sun, the backside of the sun until about November. And there's questions if it already may be possibly changed course. The IAWAN, that's the International Astronomy Asteroid Warning Alert Network, has saying is that there's questions about if it changes course significantly towards Earth, that they might need to consider a threat to Earth. At this point, it's not because it's behind the sun, so we can't see it. So we don't know if it's going to change course or not. But I just want to bring that up to your attention. So if you are wondering if 3i Atlas could be coming for Earth, we don't know yet. Okay. Levy Loeb has his own so-called Levy scale, which says that originally he had it as a 2, now he's thinking about changing it to a 4, meaning less likely it is a artificial construct. Very interesting. I don't know why you do that, but okay. I just got my new YouTube bag. Okay. Why you decided to restore your account after, or because you were thrown off of YouTube by YouTube for some reason. Trust me, YouTube does stupid stuff too, you know. So the main thing is that so the IWAN is worried that it may be a possible Earth threat. This is the first time they ever thought of using a comment of the whole new IWAN program of saying it's a threat. NASA has not released any photographs or images recently for the 3i Atlas on Mars, near Mars. So we don't know what's going on. We do have it confirmed that 3i Atlas did send a message to the moon, and somehow the moon did respond to the message from 3i Atlas. They're using frequency division multiplexing, or in TDM as well, time division multiplexing, sending multiple signals simultaneously at the same time, which from the moon was sending TDM chunks of messages as long as FDM to 3i Atlas on the tight beam. Why would they do that? I don't know. Again, this is things I have no clear idea. But it does seem kind of weird. Why would you need to do TDM and FDM mutualization, communication? Hello, how you doing, Parchubanza? Hello, how you doing, John Pork, UK? Welcome to the show. I wasn't gonna really go live, but fuck it, I'm here. It's been a very interesting day today. As I said, I'm a little bit first I want to thank Brian PC. He did order the new gas shock cylinder for the chair, but we can't mount it in my existing bracket because I can't get the old cylinder out because I don't have a hydraulic press or a gear puller to get it out. I had tried within a safe amount of force to remove it, but I could not get it out. It was just like as good as welded in there. I couldn't get it out. When I looked at the bottom of the chair plate, when I saw the ripped metal, I just said to myself, aha, it makes sense. That's why the chair was acting funky for years. The fact is the metal was already starting to tear some time ago. When I shifted my weight over to the other side to try to compensate for the ripped metal, that basically caused the rip to further spread. because it was under more stress instead of evenly being distributed across the chair. Remember, you're taking a 275 plus weight person, and you figure out and you're in an area of about 144 square inches of pressure, and then you're reducing it down to 1.1 inches of pressure. You can calculate how many tons that is. That's a lot of mass going onto a chair stem, which means that you figure out what that means. Like that's like, oh my god, what is that like? It's like it's like the factor of 10 of pressure. Factor of 10. 2,760 pounds per square inch. No wonder I couldn't get it off. I actually did reach out to the hydraulic mesh channel and said, "Hey, would you like to take this job? If you can get off, I'd love it because I mean, it'd be nice to have that chair base back and at least let me get the dents out of it." So I reached out to the hydraulic press channel and I asked him, "Would you like to do a collab? You know, we get this out of the gas chair. You can have the gas cylinder. You can play around with it if you want. I don't care. I just need the base back, even though it's full of dents now." But at least I can get the chair apart. That'd be great. No, I am not skinny. I never said I was skinny. Please, 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 ladies and gentlemen, I never said I was skinny. Please don't say I ever said I was skinny. I am not. I am very large. I am a very plus size person for sure. I never said I was skinny. How many times people think he's saying, "Oh, her doctor says she's at her baseline. Oh, that's good. Wait, what's her baseline? 269 pounds? Oh, well, that's not good." Well, it depends on who you said because the doctor said this. Well, you haven't lost anything, but then again, since you hadn't been able to go to Cummings for all those months, you gained a lot. You gained a few bucks. You gained like 10 pounds. Uh, so yeah, well, we can go back to Cummies. I'm glad, no, but I haven't actually gone back to Cummies because the fact is, we need to talk about the other elephant in the room, and it ain't me. It has to do with food stamps. Where do we begin here? Democrats are still holding up the works in Congress and Senate. They are refusing to pass a clean continuing resolution despite over and over and over again getting tons of calls from very concerned constituents going, "We need our food stamps." They're sitting on their hands and going, "No, we're not giving you your food stamps." At the same time, the Democrats are cratering. They are absolutely going down the shitter in so many ways because they're not listening to the constituents who said is we need our food stamps. And they keep saying no, no, no. Also, they're also saying no pay to essential workers, no pay to the military either, which are also essential, or all the furloughed workers are probably going to be out of a job. Great job, Democrats. You just messed up everybody. You get a medal for being a real poop. You know, jeez. So, hello there, everybody. All the people, 5 of you, I do see at least a couple of you guys in chat. I don't see everybody, but welcome. So, what that means is they're not budging. They're not budging. They refuse. Despite the fact that their constituents are calling their offices and railing at them and say, "Fix the problem," they refuse. They are voting against Trump as a block. Either people are calling it absent or they are just not showing up at Congress. Now, the problem is the non essential workers that are not getting paid and given IOUs. And you may love your job, but you got to pay your bills too, right? So what are you going to do? You can't pay your bills if you don't have any money. And so some of them are doing side hustles right now. to make up for what they've lost, such as DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, Uber, Lyft, delivering pizza for Domino's. Yeah, not good, not good. It's just scary. And please put a like in the like jar, guys. This is a really late show. I didn't plan to do a late one. I just said, let's give you guys a recap of what's going on. So, tomorrow, the phone mount for the car, for Noodle's car, should be here tomorrow. Then, the parts that Brian PC should be here early next week. The other parts, I needed the base plate, which came with 5 wheels. I actually sent that. I've set that up to be delivered on Sunday instead of Saturday because I will be at Chiller Theater on the 25th, and I will not be physically here to collect my packages. So hopefully they will be here when I get home. Okay. Um, so that's all I can do. I guess it's the best I can do. So really, really quite fascinating to think of all the stuff that are going on. Right now I'm sitting on my chair I use for driving my truck, which is just like my truck is uncomfortable as hell. I still got a pillow on it, but my pillow is kind of crappy anyway. So just trying to make the best I can. So I didn't plan to have to do all this chair repair. I didn't expect to. It just goes getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And finally I just said, screw this, this is ridiculous. And the chair metal ripped right where it made it almost impossible to sit in without potentially kissing the floor. And I said, this is not good. No. So I got that chair fixed and get that ready to go and get that back on. What about the chair itself? What about the actual physical chair? How is the physical chair? The physical chair does not have any damage to the plywood base. It does not have any damage like that at all, which is good, which means that the chair structure itself is firm. It's just the base that broke. Kind of like my teeth, right? Yeah. Unfortunately, if I had a stick welder, a TIG or MIG welder, I could have fixed it. Probably I could have just welded it, or even with an oxyacetylene torch, which I don't have. But I mean, it feels like steel, but it's kind of thin steel, so it's definitely. I don't know what the torso strength is. I could figure it out. I can look it up in the handyman's reference regarding thickness of steel, regarding how much tension it can take, how much torsion it can take before it rips, but it's gonna be more time consuming than it's worth. And it's still not gonna fix it. It's not gonna fix it anyway. It's still gonna be ripped. It's still gonna be ripping. Yep. So that's the reason why we just I'm getting a whole new chair, baby. Pretty much, you got a whole new base, you got a whole new gas cylinder, you got to have a whole new chair base that the actual seat sits on. It's pretty much a new chair, but you can still see where the cat basically shredded his claws in the leatherette material. That's just me. I always tend to fix things. I know why I fix things instead of throwing them away is that number one, I I like fixing things, and so sure I could have basically borrowed the chair, brought the other chair to the tip, said "Hasta la vista, baby," but I like to fix things, and so I do, and I have a little pet projects here which I haven't done yet. For example, this turntable over here has a broken left connection, probably an intermittent solder joint in the line output connection. I can do the same thing, which I've already taken it apart once to work on it, I can probably take it apart again. It's simply a matter of soldering, resoldering, and possibly if the trace is just broken or if I could just repair it. So it's just a simple passive board, but I haven't done it yet. So tomorrow, as I said, is Chiller Theater night. I'm gonna be leaving here early Saturday morning to go to Chiller Theater, and I'm looking forward to that. I do have a dress picked out, and so we will put that on tomorrow and get ready for that. Bring my hygiene products with me, and we'll go. Uh, but that is what we're doing tomorrow, and we're gonna get some things done. And I don't know how many people are watching, so right now I see we got 7 actively watching. But what I mean by watching is how many are just flying by here without clicking on the notifications. Let me see if I can find that answer. I am absolutely curious because I am just curious how many people are watching. Because I'm going to turn on my monetization. I need the money. That stuff's expensive. You know, these repairs cost a lot of money. Um, so let's take a look here. We have currently, um, 36 views came in, 5 currently watchers right now. Um, we have um, not too many new people yet, but I'm not going to be staying on beyond 12 midnight. There's just no reason to. I just can't. Um, because I have a morning show at 10, so we're going to be busy with the morning show tomorrow. And let me see how many people are actually. Okay, it's open to anyone. Fantastic. That's good. It means people can come in and talk to me. So let's get some chat going. Set the live chat on here. And say, pop out the chat so I can see this on my screen here. Yeah, I'm going to slide it over here so I can see the YouTube side of the chat. And I can still see the Restream IO chat as well. Okay, that way I can see everybody. So the thing is that it was nice of Brian PC to buy the piece I needed to fix the chair. I was hoping originally to save the original plate for the wheels on it, but so I can't. So I had to buy the plate too. But he did give me like 20 pounds. So I was able to say he put something towards the repair. So that's not so bad. Would it have been cheaper to just buy a chair off the showroom floor? Well, yeah, but here's the problem. Most of these chairs are designed for skinny minis and not for fat ones like me. If you put me in a skinny mini chair, your chair is likely to be trash very quickly. I have problems with my legs. I have a hard time getting up because of my injury to my knee. I put a lot of weight on my caboose, and you damn well know what's going to happen. Yep, you guessed it. Your chair is going to rip. Like this chair here is an old ancient church chair. It's an old folding chair from God knows when, and it is pretty tough. But it ain't no bucket seat, baby. It ain't no bucket seat. All right, that's just the reality. It's just not a bucket seat. So, you know what we need to do? We need to have a company that makes custom chairs for people. Custom chairs for fat people. Custom chairs for skinny people. Why would you need a custom chair for skinny people? Because not everybody's the same height. But that's why. Let's say a little kid. A kid wants a chair, right? Gaming chair. Well, they're not that big. They're not that tall. They're not going to need big, huge, high, hunking chairs. They got short legs. We're talking about 5-year-olds. So they would like to have a high chair, but they also would like to have a chair they can get in and out of. There's a couple ways to do that. One of them is to design a chair specifically for their size and weight so they can get in and out. It's kind of funny because I remember when I was down at the Danbury Fair Mall and they had a family bathroom. I was the only one that was free at the time I was in there. And it had two toilets. It had one for mom, dad, and one for Junior, which is this tiny, short little toilet that's basically a horn, almost like a squatty potty. And I was like, what? That thing is so low to the ground. And um, I've never seen a toilet that small in my life anywhere, not even in a motorhome. Um, they do make toilets like that, low profile ones for motorhomes, but this isn't one of those. So I was found it absolutely fascinating. As I said, it looked almost like you could use it like a squatty potty if you really wanted to. Um, it's it just wasn't really set for that. But yeah, it was designed for little kids. You know, it's just kind of cute, little cute mommy and kid toilet, or daddy and kid toilet. You know, think of it like a porta potty, or think about it like a little, little potty for a little kid, right? But it flushes, has flusher on it, and flushes. Um, really kind of cute, but so obviously there really may be need for people that are smaller to have a smaller chair. They made custom ones for little guys that can get in, you know, maybe so they can almost be at the same height as mom and dad at the desk. Um, I can't believe I used to be small. I've always been kind of lanky, big, kind of wide, but there's, never really been really skinny. Um, oh, by the way, you want to talk about chairs I hate? You ever sit in the ones that they have um, in some restaurants? They have plastic backs. You ever sat in one of those things and you're plus size? I want to tell you something. You don't know if that chair is going to scream uncle and decide to just collapse and go, I quit. I get so uncomfortable that I start basically trying to prop myself up more with my legs, pushing against the floor to make sure that I don't put too much weight on the seat because it's plastic and you can hear it creaking. Like, oh boy, this is a small seat. This isn't gonna support me. If I actually put all my weight on that thing, would probably collapse. So I'm just looking at me. Um, so like I said, we need chairs for different sized people. Now, what if one day we do meet 3i Atlas? Let's say one day we meet our ETs. Why not? We're going to talk about custom seats. We're mostly done with that. ET comes out, and he's tall and skinny and spindly, and he's like a welterweight. At least he looks like he is. He might be very heavy, but let's just say he's skinny, tall, string bean, right? And he's looking at our furniture and going, I can't sit in that. That's too small for me. It's too short. I can't. I feel like I have to fold my legs over to get over into the chair. Trust me, honey, I get it. You need a chair that's more designed so you can comfortably sit down in your chair and not feel like you're gonna fall over. I get it, buddy. I get it. Yeah, I get it. So, um, it's a blood elf. I get it. Um, oh, by the way, how tall are blood elves? No one ever actually talks about this. According to what I've heard in the lore, a blood elf is approximately 7 feet tall. 7 feet tall, according to Azeroth legend. You're talking a 7-footer. Yeah, trust me, we have humans that tall. My cousin, Lori, is 7 foot tall. You want to talk about misery? You ever imagine walking around in a room and you're a woman, you're 7 foot tall. You see a ceiling fan spinning overhead. And it stays like that. Because you don't want to get hit clunked in the head with the blades, right? That's exactly what happens with really tall people in ceiling fans. It's just like you see in Lord of the Ring when Gandalf visits Bilbo's house. Gandalf was a kind of normal sized guy. Bilbo Baggins was a short little guy, right? Really short. I mean, about 5 foot, right? So his house is designed for a 5-footer. So Gandalf comes in and he's got the chandelier of candles, just bunk, bangs into it. Now, I mentioned to you all, that was a Casablanca ceiling fan. That would not be fun for anyone to hit into that, especially with spinning and running. Right? Blah! You're going to be flying. Uh, so yeah, that's the reality about ceiling fans. They're just scary. Okay, for tall people. But anyway, I see people over here. 5 people. Hello, 5. We were up more. We were up more. Now let's talk about that. Let's talk about those numbers, folks. We started out at 6. We are currently at 5. I think we're a little lower than 5. 3, 1. No. Yes, 1. 1. 1. 1. 4 legs. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, that's weird. Never understood these numbers, but so everybody says to me, "We'd love to see you do more night shows." Well, here's your night show. Where the hell are you? Where the hell are you? Huh? Where are you guys? I am 58 years old, honey. 58. 5'8". And yes, I'm a Virgo. 58-year-old Virgo. Yep, that's me. Anyway, so we got people really doing how old I am. I'm old enough. I'm old enough to be a lot of your grandmothers. So I'm getting older. I'm not kid. I'm not a kid anymore. I was born in 1968, September 13th. Oh, yes, I am 58. So that is the sad reality of what's going on in my life as of today. We have um, seen a lot of different things. But anyway, since people do wonder what we're going to do more tarot readings, let me just do one real quick here, guys. You guys. Um, so let me get I have multiple decks of tarot cards. I use one particular one that's my favorite deck, and it's this one. As you can tell, it's pretty beat up. It's called Finister. It's called Fenestra Tarot. Fenestra Tarot. This is the deck I usually use most of the time. So let's pull up some readings. And let's see if we can get this thing to melt. Unfortunately, it's not going to really melt too well. It's going to slide around here. So the first tarot reading I want to know is, since we're talking about Chiller Theater, is Mother God, Father God, Angels, Spirit Guides. What can we expect for Chiller Theater for the day of October 25th, 2025? Chiller Theater, October 25th, 2025. I'm going to do the pre and the post days separately because I got a feeling they're going to be all very different. So we're going to be talking about Chiller Theater specifically that day. How is this going to affect? Unfortunately, because I'm using Land's portrait, I can't show the whole screen. And yeah, I am terrible at shuffling cards, but it doesn't seem to normally affect me. It just is annoying as hell. I gotta make sure I get the cards in the right weight. Okay, so 3-card spread, no reversals. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, I may need to look at the book to verify a few readings, but most part, ooh, the 10 of Swords. Someone's getting skewered. That's not good. What the heck's going on here? This is where it is now. The first card, the 10 of Swords, the sharpened pointies. Somebody's getting skewered. Why? I don't know. Let's see if we get the answer in the second card. The Wheel of Fortune. However, things improved. You may get this. You may have been skewered at first, but you get the Wheel of Fortune, which seems to say things are going to be better. So maybe I'm going to finally work out well. And then we have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups. All right, so you do got to look up the Queen of Cups because I don't remember what the Queen of Cups represents. And I want to make sure I get these right. Right. Here we go. And also, we'll verify exactly what the Ten of Swords means. It means it ends of a cycle, but it doesn't necessarily mean. Let's start the Queen of Cups since I want to know about this. A dreamy woman holding the cup of her imagination reflects relies on intuition and feelings, attachment, devotion, commitment, and nurturing. Okay, so hold on to the cup of her imagination. Dreamy woman, Wheel of Fortune, which is a major kind of card, is number 10. I'm going to pull up number 10 here. Wheel of Fortune, destiny, success, letting go of control, felicity, change. Okay, now what about the sharp and pointies in number 10, the swords? Well, unfortunately, usually that doesn't usually mean good. Pain, affliction, death, and end of cycle. So, in other words, end of a cycle prior to Chiller Theater Day. Maybe something happened on the 24th because the rest of these cards, this one and this one, are saying things are going to be better. So maybe something happened on the 24th. So let's go pull the cards up on the 24th and see what they say here. And if I sound animated to you, it's because I am kind of excited. I actually am looking forward to Chiller Theater tomorrow. So, yes, I am. So, Mother God, Father God, Angel, Spirit Guides. What can we expect for October 24th, which is a Friday before the 25th? Is this Ten of Swords, which means an end of a cycle, related to something on the 24th, or is it something from earlier? Well, tomorrow's the 24th, so that's why tomorrow could pretty much be the reading for the rest of this 24th, 25th, 26th date. So, yeah, I wonder what's going on the 24th, what's going on the 24th. Okay, 3 card spread, no reversals. 1, 2, 3. No wild cards. I do have wild cards. I don't usually use them, but I guess a wild card could be like you can call shots. Well, travel journey by water. Well, we are going across a couple of bridges. This is a wild card. Throw that back in. You know what? I usually don't use the wild card, but I'll consider it. I'm gonna use this wild card. Fuck it. I'm gonna say Journey by Water and maybe 2 of Pentacles out of that deal. So you got the double card. Isn't it funny? I'm going with Noodles. He's the devil card. Devil in the details, I guess you could say. I don't know. All right, let's go. Pull me another card up. What is about the double card? What is about the double card? Hit me. Ah, something you leave behind. Something you leave behind. Something that the double card means that you're going to leave behind. That's what she's doing. She's walking away from the cups. She's walking away from the cups. She's not sticking around with the cups. She's like, screw it. I'm not, whatever it is, the double card may be Noodles. It could be possibly something else. Okay, I want to know another card. Hit me. Okay, I got the Fool. Oh, again, related to travel, journey. Journey to New Jersey, parsimony. There you go. Okay, so in other words, it sounds like it's gonna be, again, this is what it talks about the same thing. Journey by water, maybe going across a bridge, maybe going over a ferry. Who knows? So, this means that the 24th is gonna be the day to watch the P's and Q's because you don't know what's gonna happen. Oh, by the way, for those of you who like to look at the bottom of the deck, and people do, you got the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords, yeah. What does the King of Swords mean? Actually, he's one of the few sharp and pointies that usually is actually pretty good. It actually means the King of Swords says a mature man of power with good instincts and high morals. Command, authority, and determination. Perhaps that means that my determination to make this happen, to make this trip work. Okay, now we got that. What about the return trip, the 26th, which is just as important because it affects the whole weekend. What happens on the 26th? What can we expect on the 26th of October? What can we expect on the 26th of October? Okay, I forget an urge to cut the deck again. Yeah, I'm gonna cut the deck again. Let's see, 3 card spread. Let's see what we got. No reversals. Keep it simple, please. I always like it simple because I know like some of these tarot readings to go through and they do thousands of pages of tarot. I'm not gonna do that. We got Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. That could be a good thing. Okay, I'll explain that in a second. And then we have Ace of Wands. Fire energy. Think of a burning stick. That's kind of what this is. It's like a burning stick. That's what a wand is in this case. And last one is we got the Ace of Swords. Okay, so that doesn't sound so bad. No, that's not literally what it means, but you know what? I'll be honest. It, you know, things are dangerous right now in the world. So let's pull up the Ace of Swords first. As I said, there's very few. Since I have the Knight of Pentacles. Let me go to that first. Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is right here. Is a messenger of hope, diligence, material rewards, enthusiasm. Might mean that when I come home on Sunday doing the night show, 7 Moon Radio, we could be bringing home a lot of donations. We don't know, but you got the Ace of Wands too, which is good, and the Ace of Swords. Anyway, just for you guys who understand, the wands are associated with enterprise, growth, and development. Okay, so usually I call them the sharp and pointies because usually they cut. But the Ace of Wands means ambition, renewal, initiative, motivation. Maybe I get my mojo back. And then you have, that's the Ace of Swords. Then you have the Wands card. Ace of Wands. Wands card says ambition, renewal, intuitive, innovation, and then the Ace of Swords. Sorry, like wrong here. No, actually I did. Opportunity for change, great force in force and focus. So, in other words, things this weekend could be a little bit topsy-turvy, but not excessively. However, for those of you who like to look at the bottom of the deck, you got, and I know this doesn't say very well, you got the Two of Swords. You see she's blind, she's got 2 swords in her hand, she's kind of bound. She may be bound by fears. See how she has her hands across her chest. It's like she's oblivious to what's going on. So there might be something going on with Sunday that could be maybe not all rosy. It's just what it means. I think. I know some of the professional tarot deck readers can go through and read a million things into that, but I'm just reading into it on a surface level. So I think we're going to see some interesting things coming up with that. So we'll see what happens. Gonna get stabbed by man with a sword while crossing a bridge. Devil and a fool. While on the same table. Uh huh. You have the same name as me. Well, kind of, but um, I don't know if it's. I don't know if that's your real name or not. I can't say, but the point is that this weekend is going to be a weekend of interesting energies. Some ups, some downs, some boredom, some excitement, and like I said, I've been doing a lot of things in my life. I've always been a go to person. I've always been the kind of person that fixes stuff. I fix shit when it breaks. Okay, let me just put this. Excuse me, my me. Here we go. I fix shit when it breaks. I don't. I'm not afraid to fix shit. I fix shit. You know. Um. Just turns out that is it a cheaper life to fix stuff than to replace it? Well, DIY or buy. Let's think about that. Okay, you can, as I said, you can buy a pre-made chair. Um, you don't want to go for the cheapest one in the market because number one, it's been tested by a couple of Chinese manufacturers. They found that some of the companies to cheapen up things instead of using nitrogen in the cylinders, they're using air. And in using air with the mineral oil, when the pressure gets on the chair, it can cause a desilization effect, where the cylinder acts like a cylinder in a single combustion diesel engine, which means it is going to combust. There's a pressure, and then it's going to go boom. Um, and there also needs to be testing done to make sure that the chairs can stand up to the pressures of having a human body on it. Most Chinese people are small and lightweight, and therefore usually don't have a problem. When you put a heavy, big 275 pounder in me in that chair, you better make sure that cylinder is rated for 1,000 pounds, or you're going to basically be very sorry. And so, thank you very much for liking both of us. Thank you very much. Please do subscribe, guys. We really do need your subscriptions. It does help so much. When you guys subscribe to the channel, it shows that you really, truly are in, want to be part of our community. We are a fun group. We do fun stuff. We really do. We're not, oh, boring people. We are fun people. We just sometimes we act stupid, but that's, I guess that's okay. People are not all smart anyway. Um, so let's see, 5 watchers and 48 minutes. It's almost. It is actually 12:03 a.m. my time. So I guess it pretty much wraps it up. So the chair should be hopefully fully reinstalled and in working properly by probably by Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. And then for now, I'll be using this old metal folding chair that came from a church. Uh, that it holds me up. That's fine. That's what matters. Um, because I mean that chair when the metal's ripped, you can't even sit in it. It just whoop, dumps right into the dirt. Yeah. Um, I wonder if that may have broken possibly when I had to get down because of my knees. I actually can't easily get off my chair, so then I tend to scoot forward. That's probably what happened was when you put all the weight on the lip of the chair when you were trying to get to the underneath the tabletop, you probably ended up ripping the metal because you sat and you were trying to scoot forward. You probably just caused the metal to rip. Probably. Yeah, that's probably more than likely what happened. That's probably times when that happened. Because after my knee injury, I couldn't get in and out of a chair like a normal person anymore without a fight. If you watched me during the chair repair, you would notice that I have a hard time getting back up after I get to sit on the floor to do work. I have to usually scoot over to a table and grab or onto a piece of furniture and then basically use it to push my body up. I get in that tub the same way. I got a cast iron tub, an old style lion foot tub. We do the same thing, and that's the reason I'm here because this apartment still has one. My new apartment had these fiberglass tubs, and they don't take too good um, to heavy people. They really don't. Uh, Imagine how embarrassing it would be. You go take a bath, and all of a sudden the tub cracks in half, and you're in it. All of a sudden, all your water's downstairs. How you doing, Don? Welcome to the show. Well, we just was talking earlier before you came on about the different things, such as what's going on with the food stamp situation, 3i Atlas, what's going on with the chair that broke, why it broke, when it's gonna be totally fixed today. I did a video showing me trying to get the broken pieces off with absolutely no luck whatsoever. Um, so how many kilograms of force do you think it would take for Lori at the hydraulic press channel to get that cylinder out? Probably about a kilo. I mean, 1,000 kilos, a metric ton, a metric ton. Wow, that's heavy. Yeah, but like I said, I'm a person that likes to fix things. Um, I definitely believe in right to repair. So if something breaks, the first thing I do is everybody says just throw it in the garbage. It's not needed anymore. It's junk. It's bogus. Throw it away. Uh, no, I actually like working on stuff. It gives me something to do. So when something breaks, just say this example, this tape dispenser. Why not use this example? It's pretty cheap Chinese gadget, right? Well, cheap masking tape dispenser. Let's say this thing cracked. No, this one isn't cracked, but um, well, actually, this probably wouldn't be able to fix this anyway. But let's just say it broke in half. I would probably be one of the people if this is a more expensive one, or my 1960 stapler would probably be a better example of this. This one I bought it works fine from the box, no problem. I love this stapler. You know why? Because when you want to put staples in it, you just slide them in here on the top, and you just push them down, and just load the staples into the like this, and it just locks it up like that. It is really, really a nice stapler. Just slide it down. You can put the broken pieces in there, close it, boom, staples ready to go. That's the way I do things. I like to keep things fixed. Yeah, I've done that too. For example, Lumi was suggesting that we should use the old chair base as a camera dolly until we found out exactly how badly damaged that top plate was. We might be able to still do it, but we'd have to find another way to reassure it doesn't dump the camera on the floor. Well, there's a couple ways. Yeah, you could um, remove the pivoting mechanism and just basically make it a rigid platform so it doesn't. You could use the same thing for the chair itself so that it doesn't go back and forth. But again, with the metal already ripped, you really can't because your weight and one day it's just gonna go snap and then you're still gonna end up on the floor. Very true. Um, that's why I always tend to buy two or three or four things. I always like to have extra parts. Sometimes things break, and so I have like two or three things that are usually like spare parts around here. Um, it ain't perfect, but no, that's just me. I fix things like that, and like I said, this is a late night show. I didn't expect to even go live tonight, but I just figured since I got a good nap and got a good few hours sleep in, like 6 hours sleep. Well, no, not quite six, but I think you went tumbled into bed about 4, woke up for 6, made yourself a homemade cheeseburger and French fries. Yes, I did. Oh, by the way, those were really good. If you really want a cool hamburger, cheeseburger, use a little bit of regular black pepper, but when you do the black pepper, throw in some garlic powder too, because the garlic powder and the black pepper with the American cheese, mmm, delicious. It's different. It's got a nice, it gives it a nice flavor, different flavor than just plain hamburger meat. Frozen patties served by themselves, 84% lean, 85% lean isn't that great, but you throw in a little bit of garlic and a little bit of black pepper, and it's pretty good. You know, and just use white bread. You don't have to use buns. People use buns. People say, well, buns are good. Yeah, buns are great. But the problems with buns is the fact is you only can really use them for hamburgers or maybe a grinder. You can't really use them for much else. You know, um, white bread, you can make a peanut butter sandwich if you want. I had to get my peanut butter. I don't have any more peanut butter left. You could make, you know, as I said, sandwiches with it, but most people would never usually put peanut butter in a hamburger bun. A Kaiser roll, maybe, but on a hamburger bun, not so much. Um, oh, I slept longer than that. Um, cause cause after I dinner, I was like yawning, like I need some sleep. I slept for 4 hours. I woke up, and something like that, and then I was watching some of the news on the E3I Atlas and what's going on in the world and with the government shutdown. And I just said to myself, oh, the this isn't it ain't so great, you know. It's funny though. What this chair is so old, and yet this chair is made out of thinner metal than the chair you have, and it hasn't ripped yet. Yeah, this chair also doesn't have the thing that pivots back and forth and turns and just stationary, so they can put in stronger rivets that can shear off as easily. Yeah, we got about 6 people here right now. Um, so yeah, there's 6 others here. I don't know if they're all chatting right now. It's open. This panel is open to everybody. I didn't set it for any particular group. Just do me a favor, people. Please, 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 please do subscribe if you can. It really helps because we really, really love to have you be part of the show. Normally, I don't have it set for just anybody to just talk. Um, but also, the nice thing I noticed is that the trolls are probably in bed already. We're at 10,885. The morning show was. Don't have the morning show numbers here, but I got the 37 views, 8 comments on the video on chair attempted repair. Uh, yeah, it was definitely an exercise in futility. Uh, that's Discord, Michelle. I know. Conclusive Discord. You don't need it open. Um, yeah. So that's what we did. We worked on a couple different things today, and we got 2 pop outs. Right. One is the night show chat. No, that's the other one. Oh, okay. That's the one you just clicked on was the night show chat. What about the now chat? That's right here. 6 others. Yeah. Says Don. Yep. That's right. So um, I guess that's pretty much it. I mean, tomorrow morning's 10 a.m. morning show, normal time, and like I said, I'm really um, want you guys to know that I appreciate you all coming. Please do like, share, subscribe. We could actually do a discussion on that. All right, let's do it. Let's talk about that real quick. Why not? I know from experience that the people that sub and unsub is at least two major camps. The first ones are the legitimate ones. When I say legitimate ones, they really truly are interested in content. They want to know. They want to know what's going on. They want to know what we're doing. They want to know how we work. These are the ones that are in it for the long haul. Then you have the other group, which are the trolls. They sub, but they realize they can't ask questions for 5 minutes. They get fed up. They leave. They don't want to. They don't want to stay because they realize that they have to keep their mouth shut for 5 minutes. There's a third group, um, which is kind of like the first one. They really are dedicated. They want to be part of the show, but they have heard people say things about the channel which are not necessarily true, and so they're afraid. They're afraid that really we are a low cow. That's LOWCOW. Okay, low cow, not local. Well, some people say I'm loco anyway. By the way, um, so that means that people that they laugh at for fun because they think that they're just hamming it up for the audience. I don't ham it up for the audience. I'm on a spectrum. Okay, I am disabled. I have Asperger's. I am legally blind. I am partially deaf. I have multiple handicaps. I have mobility issues with a broken kneecap in my left knee. So I'm not trying to ham it up to the audience. I'm just trying to be me and genuine about it. I'm not trying to play games with you guys. But some people think I am because they've heard other people say that I am doing that, which is not the case. I'm asking everybody to give me a fair shake. Please look at what I'm trying to tell you. I may have fun with you and laugh with you and make you giggle and squirm, but the truth is that I'm not trying to play games to try to get views. I'm just being me and doing the things that I love to do. Okay? That's just me. I'm not playing games with you. Just like these ears are part of me too, right? So I guess that's pretty much it. So if you're watching this as a replay, um, I don't know how long before the AI bot will have the replay ready for you to watch. People don't understand. No, they don't, unfortunately. But that's why we do these shows, is we try to help people to understand one person at a time. That number one, people in the spectrum still want to be part of the YouTube environment. We want to try to be successful. Unfortunately, because we're neurodivergent, we don't think like the majority of the neurotypical, and then the neurotypicals feel uncomfortable because they're like, what what am I supposed to do with this person? She's not what I'm expecting. They say she's a comedian. She says she does slapstick. She says she just bullshits around. She says she doesn't have any serious common sense in her brain. She doesn't know what she's doing. No, that's not the case. But they don't know that until they get to stick around long enough. And then they begin to see that even if they were to type 2, eventually they become loyal to the channel. They stick around, they watch the content, and then they find that we're quite a fun community. I say community. Yes, all of our humans are real good people. Um, we have people of various levels here. We have people on the spectrum. We have people that are not on the spectrum. We have people with various disabilities. Dawn has got physical disabilities, many more than I have. But Dawn is still a good person, for example. She has back problems. I have back problems. I understand back problems. Trust me, I got back problems. Um, we have people on the spectrum. As I said, I'm not going to give any names because it's not fair too. I mean, if they want to come out there and divulge that, that's fine. But we have people who have alcohol issues, drug addiction issues. We have, but what makes this community stand out is that there's genuine concern and welfare for those people. We know that they want to be good and they want to fit in and they want to feel like they're part of something wonderful. And that's what we try to do with this channel. We don't try to put anybody down. We may joke around. For example, I joke sometimes about Tina, but you know what? Maybe I'm not as heavy as Tina, but I still am overweight. So I mean, I can, you know, yeah, I agree with that. But screw the labels. I get that. Unfortunately, the neurotypical person is used to pigeonholing people like us into boxes. That's what they do because that's their that's the way they work. Yeah, and I want to try to get more people. I mean, there are channels like mine, like my channel on YouTube is like one of the few. There is a few others, but they're really really small. They're not big. They don't have uh, the viewership that my channel has. Um, I mean, some of them that might be for a variety of reasons. From the fact is they don't know how to reach out to people, which is a real thing, or again, people have very stigmatized them because they're different and they are, or they're three, they're scared of being laughed at, and I certainly was in that boat too. Yeah, I'm absolutely fine. I'm absolutely fine. I'm just like I said. I just was explaining earlier today all the stuff that I was doing, um, and from when I ended the morning show. So I mean, I was doing a lot of other projects in the back, and then I took a nap and woke up, made dinner, and then after I made dinner, checked out the news, see what's going on, what about the different things I studied through the Atlas, the news, the shutdown, the food stamp debacle, and the other things. And then I realized that, you know, maybe we have enough material to cover for a night show that wasn't going to be really long, but rather just try to touch base because we had to get the views up. We have really lost a lot of views um, in the last month alone. A couple times I have felt um, like I was ready to hang it up. But like somebody said, the thing is you hang it up now, you are at the point where you might go seriously see some significant growth. Um, so I'm still here. I said, okay, let's give it a go. Let's keep going. Maybe maybe we'll be like we were in June, maybe in July. Maybe we'll be back to 15,000 views and donations. And well, that's hard to say. Yeah, some of it is a YouTube issue. There is definitely um, the algorithm changes. Please hype my videos if you can. Please hype them. HYPE. You can hype the morning show when it's done processing. You can hype the attempting to fix the chair. We could love it if you hype them. It doesn't cost anything if you have hype skills available. Um, right, I understand that too, Don. Uh, and so it looks like tomorrow is going to be a mixed bag. It looks like Chiller Theater is going to be fun. And it looks like Sunday is going to also be kind of a mixed bag. So the big excitement is the 25th is Chiller Theater. I got the room already done. I got the room. I got the tickets. Noodles is all excited for that. So hopefully it'll go well, and we'll try to get that done. And already I know we're down to 3 people. How many viewers you got? Good question. Let me look. We have currently 92 views, 7 likes, no donations yet, no new memberships yet. All right, let's talk about that. Because of what's going on with food stamps, there is probably not going to be very many people donating right now because they do not know what's going on with the food stamps. The good news is your Social Security disability, your SSI, and your regular Social Security retirement, and your Medicare is still on. You don't have to worry about that for November. It's only the food stamps. The USDA says they need $8 billion to pay a normal food stamp balance for the month of November. They had already sent letters out to various state food stamp agencies and said, please do not accept new applications at this time. Also, please inform your recipients that because of this government shutdown, there may not be food stamps on November 1st. Your good news, as I said, is your Medicare will still be there. Your Medicaid might still be there, as it's partially funded by the states. And your SSI, SSA, SSDI, your VA benefits should still be intact as well. So, but that doesn't mean that people are going to be all happy because the essential government workers are not being paid tomorrow because of the government shutdown. So they're not going to come home with a check. So therefore, government workers, essential ones, are going to be working on an IOU, basically. They're saying, look, we'll pay you with a government check for your job when the government reopens. Okay. Trump wants to see essential workers get paid. And this includes the military, ICE, air traffic controllers, safety inspectors, police, FBI, everything. But Democrats are not budging. It's not guaranteed to happen. My stuff is compromised still. I got cut off some medical care and food stamps. Hacked. Done tomorrow, on the 1st of the month. Or whenever you normally get your check. You may not have food stamps anyway. Okay? Just be aware of that. So whoever is supposed to be trying to fill or steal your money is going to be very disappointed tomorrow on the 1st of November because there will not be any food stamps from the steal. Okay. But you do got to protect yourself against scams because the crooks are desperate too. They're trying to steal. That is a worry there with me with Chiller Theater is the fact that I do not want to bring my debit card to Chiller Theater at all because they're skimmers, There are people that will try to steal your card numbers and compromise your accounts. And so, therefore, you need to be very careful when you go to something like ChillerCon, because there are people that have found ways to read the RFID codes on your cards. Now, let's first of all keep one thing in mind, that is a real fear. I mean, that's something that the card chip is got a lot of biometric security features, but the magnetic stripe has none. Okay, so what that means is the magnetic stripe is how the crooks are still reading your card. So if you go ever use a terminal and you think the terminal has been hacked, do not run your card through it. Especially not your debit card. ATM card, never. Don't use one of those. Okay? You can use a credit card because usually you can dispute charges, but the other cards, no. Um, People have done that. Fortunately, some of my clothes do have pockets on them. Some do. I wouldn't put money in my bra anyway. But there's no guarantee the money will still be there because it might fall out of my bra. I've had things fall out of my bra before. But that's certainly something to keep in mind if you're going out. Especially, also my bank uses anti-fraud detection. If they see I'm in Parsippany, New Jersey, they might lock my card, realizing I have never went to Parsippany, New Jersey. Therefore, cash is king. What are you going to use $200 for? Let's see. Eating? Yes. Maybe some knickknacks? Maybe. Uh, you might buy fuel. You know, Noodles is going to need help with gas. That's a long trip. You know, it's because he's got to basically turn and burn. He's got to come up here, pick me up. Then we have to leave here early in the morning or on Saturday. And so tomorrow I'm going to have to go to the ATM and take out some money. Now, you might say, well, why don't you just go ahead and just use your debit card to pay for everything? I mean, your credit card. Well, there's one reason why. I did that last month, and we basically are still hurting. Or your shoe. Yeah. Or maybe even in your panties. Nah, nobody wants underwear. Soak money. Yeah. I could just see the cashier go, "You, what did you do? Piss on this?" Well, where's my underwear? Well, now you know it's definitely that counterfeit because you can always smell it. Like, I see you put underwear in your butt. Oh my god. No, no, actually, yeah, that's a valid concern. Um, Especially in something like Chiller Theater. It may be very busy. There might be thousands of people there. Hold your wallet tight. Hold your purse even tighter and zip it shut. Last time, in fact, I'm going to be carrying a phone with a charger and a stand, and we're going to be doing interviews. It's a lot of stuff to keep a track of. That's one of the reasons why I hate going to New York City. I absolutely hate New York City. I mean, it's loud, it's noisy, it's crowded. One guy took a whiz on the street and I was walking by it. I don't care. They'll take a pee in the middle of the street because there's no porta potties. Can't believe that. They also take poops in the street too. They do. Oh my God. Yes, they do. Um, it's just weird. They do that, and then I wonder why people get grossed out. It's just yuck, 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 gross, gross. 100% gross. And I still don't know why anyone want to live that many people crammed into a small space. I really do not understand why anyone wants to live in a city that packed in there like that. And I always wonder how in heaven's name do people on a disability afford to stay there and live there? Because your rent on a single room occupancy could be as much as $3,000 to $4,000 a month. $3,000 to $4,000 a month. How does people with disability afford that? They don't get $3,000 to $4,000 a month. Even if they do get state supplement from the state of New York, they don't get that much. So how are they able to afford that? It's just inconceivable. I cannot see how they can do that. Hello, William, Mr. Nobody. How you doing? William Gower said, "Everyone, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and turn on the notifications too, please. Because when I do these surprise shows like this one, you know, you need to know the notifications. I'll be honest, sometimes if you got tons of notifications and lots of channels, I do, you may miss it. Okay, that happens. It's unavoidable. If you got like me, you got tons of notifications on your YouTube app, and you got like 1,000 of them, and like in a single day, and you're flicking through them, flick, 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 flick. You might not know right away when I'm live. You're just like, but at least if you get a notification, you know I'm live, right? Um, Thank you very much. Not a problem. And I think it's time to wrap it up. It's getting time to wrap it up, everybody. It really is. But anyway, so now the new chair parts are going to be here hopefully this week, and hopefully no one's going to steal my packages, which they haven't been. But I'll get the parts, get the chair put together, get the other chair back in, and be all set to go. It's an executive office chair. Um, I admit it's a little bit, eh. Well, sometimes it's nice to lean back in a little bit, but it's really not quite often I do that because I'm afraid it's gonna go whoop, bam. I'm gonna end up under my laying on my back, going. What happened? You leaned back too far. Oh no. Oh yes. Yeah, right. It's 11:38 p.m. your time, Dawn. Correct. I'm in the Eastern time zone, so it's about 12:30 12:38 p.m. my time, a.m. I also like to try to reach out to the people in the UK, and also, but right now it's 5 or 6 in the morning. They're not up yet. Also like to reach out to Australia, like Perth. They're up. It is lunchtime there in Perth, Australia. It's 12:38 in the afternoon. It is Saturday, Friday, Friday morning. Yeah, same as here, Friday morning, right? So I'm surprised Vinny Gee doesn't come over here. Right now, it's early. It's reasonable time for him. He could easily be here right now, and saying hi. Yeah. So for now, if you can watch the video I did earlier, and of course, do if you have not watched the morning shows. The morning shows are normally at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. That's 9 a.m. Central Time Zone, and approximately 7 a.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Monday through Saturday. No, Saturday, because we'll be driving, will probably be not a specifically a morning show. I'm not saying we couldn't have one on the road. We could. Yes, we can have one on the road. So we'll see what happens with that at 10 a.m. on Saturday. If it's going to be an all-day show, or if it's just going to be a morning show, and then we'll have one with the uh, Chilla Theater itself. I know Noodles really likes to push the portrait streams really a lot, which is sometimes good. Um, we'll have to see what happens. So for now, everybody, let's just wrap it up and say thank you all for coming. Please do put a like, share, subscribe. Oh, before I can explain, sharing the video. Please do share it. And because you may have family and friends that you think may enjoy this, and don't worry about the haters. You know, they're always going to say crap about me, even though it's none of it's true. Okay, number one, Michelle's greedy. No, I'm not. I'm not greedy. Michelle is money hungry. No, I'm not money hungry, but I do got a lot of expenses to pay for to keep these shows going. Um, Michelle doesn't give a fart and a flagon about anybody in you. That's not true. Michelle was never serious. Nope, I am serious. I'm a Virgo, for God's sakes. So being serious is my middle name. That's what I do. Um, and So, I mean, there's a lot of misnomers about me which are really, really incorrect, and we got to fix that. We got to change that. We got to get people to know the real me. Also, I welcome everybody to my community. I just ask for one simple thing. Please be respectful. I know we're different than the standard content producer on YouTube. I know we do things differently than many channels. We don't focus a lot on pre manufactured pretentious drama. Let's be honest, the real world is drama enough. I don't even need to make up drama. I can just walk out the door, pick up the damn newspaper, and there's a drama machine right there, ready for me to basically rip into every single news story under the sun. That is real world drama. That is not preconceived. That is not pretentious. That's the real shit that's going on. But I like to try to keep that to a minimum, unless it's something that I feel like this food stamp thing and the shutdown thing or the 3i Atlas thing that is really important to know, and then I'll bring it up. But otherwise, I don't even really go into that either. I just don't want to. Absolutely, I would love to see that, Don. I'd love to see you. But I mean, I don't want to be thrown to the walls either. But I'm saying is that I want to see the channel grow. It's just one of the few channels like this on YouTube. There is not too many like this. There's, I think there's a few others, but they're very small. Um, for the reasons I've already explained. Number one, they don't know how to reach out, which is really true. Two, they're afraid to reach out because they're afraid they're going to be ridiculed. And that is also really true. And number three, neurotypical people don't know how to respond to the content. I can't help that. I know I'm neurodivergent. I know that I'm not your typical YouTuber. I don't heavily get into the Mary Jane. I don't go ahead and drink to excess. I don't even really drink anymore at all. I kind of gave that up years ago. Literally, years ago. I think I had some when I was with Noodles up in upstate New York, but that was about it. I didn't drink after that. Um, I just want to be. By the way, how much was that restaurant in upstate New York? Very, very expensive. I paid for the whole thing. I paid for Noodles beer test. He bought this a 9 pack, 9 different craft beers. I had the wine and the cheese. I had the a few other things, odds and ends. And I think it was like 75 to 100, $200. I think it was like 200, 180, 180. Yikes, that was expensive. Um, Spread the love always. That's what I try to do. And thank you very much, William Gowler. By the way, um, some people also get there to my channel because we got a lot of people with wrenches. Let me explain before anyone asks for wrenches. You need to be here a while. I don't give wrenches out just to everybody just because they show up at the door. Okay? It takes me a while to determine what kind of a person you are if I give a wrench. I have given wrenches to people in the past and made bad choices. And so we don't like to give wrenches willy nilly. And we got so many people now that are mods, but we don't have really need for all the mods we have. Um, so if you know, if you if you here long enough and you're part of the show and you participate every day or whenever you can, and we see that you're a good person and you're not causing problems, then maybe you might get a wrench. You know. No, I've been subbed here. I was saying I subbed to you. Oh, you subbed Don's channel. I don't know how many videos Dawn does, but I'm sure she would love to have you as a viewer. And so, just want to make sure you understand that. But we're good people. Dawn can vouch for you. Um, can tell you all about me. Other people could tell about you. Parasolo, Porchabanza. Um, Probably a few other people still in chat could tell you about me. I've been around long enough. I've been on YouTube since 2011 on July 16th, 2010. 2010, July 16th. I didn't start out as a YouTube channel making content. I was just a viewer at first. And then I finally said, well, you know what? I've been viewing long enough. Now it's time to get back. And so I started creating content. All right, guys, that's it for now. I want to say thank you for coming. I'll see you guys at 10 a.m. tomorrow Eastern Time on all four networks of YouTube, Kick, Rumble, and Twitch. So, yes, we are on Twitch as well right now. This show is on Twitch. We got to get more viewers on Twitch. I don't know what it's going to take. Twitch is kind of hard. For some reason, Twitch itself is a hard room to get into. If you guys want to watch us on Twitch, Kick, or Rumble, and you have the notifications turned on, or you're on X, or you're on True Social, or you're in the different Discords, including Fish Tank, or my channel, my Discord, you can find me there. And my notifications when I go live on the other networks, so you can check them out. But for now, everybody, go get some sleep, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Okay? Bye bye. Bye bye, guys.